Happy Monday. We are live. Hello, hello. I see some people already in the chat. Got one of your John Perry sculptures. Oh, awesome. I always look for John Perry sculptures. So I'll tell you why I'm doing this live on a Monday, which is not like my normal day to do a live. Okay. They were so quiet. I forgot to shut the doors. So, like, if anybody has an issue with bird sounds, I will go shut the doors. I will do it. Um, they just they love to get in on the conversation. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So I will share why I'm doing this, but I also want to share some pretty personal stuff. We will do that, but it's not just about me personally. I think as I talk to more and more people, especially women my age, this is becoming something that is becoming an increasing awareness. And so I want to share pieces and parts of my journey and kind of, from the mental health aspect and navigating life aspect, and see if it resonates with you and how we can help one another. But other than that, I have a lot of updates, a lot of stuff going on. And it's really hot in here. Why is it so hot in here? It's humidity. The humidity is up, and we are so not about humidity here in Las Vegas, but this year. Now, I have been told it is the El Nino year, in that we have the extra moisture and the extra stuff, and that's why we're having the extra heat and all of that stuff. So, and it's not just Vegas. It was hot in San Diego. I just got back. Last night. Which, I did sneak away. You were watching me at an estate sale. Oh, well, like one of my videos. So I didn't get to go to any estate sales this weekend because I was in San Diego, and Saturday was a very special day. We celebrated my little guy's first birthday. He's walking, and I wouldn't say he's talking. I mean, he's got words, but he is communicating. He's communicating very well. It's hot more than usual in the Midwest. Yeah, it's hot everywhere. It's hot everywhere. In Europe, I see we got Diane. Diane, what is that? What are the temps in London? Because I'm so a friend of mine was in Germany and telling me how hot it was in Germany, and I was joking with him. I'm like, oh, and then you're gonna drink hot beer? It's like, find some ice. Humidity capital of the world, 102 and 98. Oh, yeah. It's so you and Florida. I think you fight for that position a little bit. Boiling point in Miami. Yup. Yeah, it's a crazy year. But we have these crazy years about every 10 years. Like, this is not something new. It's just something we have to live with. I know, Carol, right? I know. I can't either. And I haven't been out there since June. So I missed like a big gap. Like, when he took his first steps, she did send me a video of when he took his first steps. And, so we FaceTime. He knows who I am, which was really exciting. When I walked in the door, I got a big smile, like I wasn't some stranger walking in the door. That's very exciting. But I would desperately like to get out there more, for sure. For sure, Robin. Robin, I have something for you, my friend. We've got to meet up. 90s at its hottest. Yeah. But the thing is, like, so correct me if I'm wrong. This is what I hear, and this is, what I get taught, is that in Europe, like, air conditioning isn't really a thing because you usually don't need it. So is that true? No air conditioning there, or do you have air conditioning? 73, but it feels warmer. 66 and cloudy in New York. Oh, we all need to go to New York for the day. Western Canada is hot too. Oh, I am so happy to hear that, Robin. Thank you for sharing that. I was going to text you. Like, I haven't sat still for 5 minutes. It's also a super huge day. Rachel started college, so it's been a little exciting around here. She doesn't have her license yet, so mom is the Uber. And she's taken all her driving lessons, like she's ready. We're just waiting on the DMV appointment. So that's a funny, Melanie. So the funny thing about the FaceTime is he knows how to shut it off because I don't know that he knows that he's shutting it off, but there's the little red button. The little red button, he wants to push the little red button so that he hangs up on me all the time. 63 and 89% humidity. Yep. Yeah, I noticed it was quite warm, and the humidity gets me more than the heat. I'm fine with being warm, but the humidity it just zaps you, just drains you. You don't want to do anything. But I thank you for the jewels, Matthews Vintiques. That is so sweet of you. I have exciting news. I have very exciting news. I officially have a full pool again. Oh my goodness, that has been such a crazy thing. For those who don't know or might be new. So since I moved into this house in April, it took a few weeks to diagnose the issue. But then realized that the pool was losing more water than it would just by evaporation. So then it took a couple weeks to get the property management to do the diagnostics. So they sent out a company to do a leak detection, and it was indeed detected that it was leaking at the main drain and the light. So take a couple more weeks to schedule somebody out to come fix. We drained the pool, and they had to totally like jackhammer out all around the drain, get down to the pipes, fix that, and then they siliconed around the light. We thought we were good to go. Well, about 3 or 4 days later, I didn't actually notice it. It was my aquarium maintenance guy who's kind of been following the pool saga. Thank you, Butter Gin. Thank you so much. Floating hearts. Ooh, I like floating hearts. So he goes, I hate to tell you this, but you still have a problem. Look at the light. There was water halfway up the light. You know, he says, do not turn that light on. Do not turn that on. It'll probably explode. But also there was the electrocution problem. So I was so freaked out by that. Like, we'd been using the pool after it got refilled. I wasn't turning on the light, but had the light come on, we would have most likely been electrocuted, just like you see in the movies. So I was having a whole separate issue. I had some lights being replaced, and it was done by an electrician. And so I asked him, I said, can you disconnect power going to this light? Because we don't want to be electrocuted. So he did that. So we took away the electrocution hazard. Okay. So going back and forth with the property management. Again, everything takes like 2 weeks to get done. But here we are again. I let them know we still have issues. Oh, hello. We still have issues. And so they scheduled to come out and replace the light. Okay, that should fix it. But we were arguing okay, everything I looked up says you don't need to completely drain the pool again. You just have to drain it down below the light fixture. And the person I was talking to said, no, we have to drain it. And I kind of I say, I don't want to completely drain this pool again. Come on. Because everything I say says they can fix it without draining the pool. So the tech came out to drain down the pool and said, no, we don't have to drain it all the way. He says, I'm perfectly fine getting in the pool. And, you know, well. They came out to install the new light. And a little while later, I hate to tell you this, but we have a bigger issue. And what ends up is because when the pool was put in, there was different code requirements. One of which is it didn't have to have like a special housing or anything. But the biggest thing is they didn't have to put them connected to a GFCI switch on the electric. Thank you, guys. So, yeah, you see where this is going. So now we have a much bigger issue. Now they have to completely replace the housing around the light, replace the light, and redo the electrical. So, drain pool all the way again. And so that finally last Thursday, so they came out Wednesday night to drain the rest of the pool. And I walk out into the backyard and he's draining it out onto the lawn. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, we cannot put chlorine and chemicals onto my nice green lawn. This is, no. So yeah, I had to like intervene there, get it drained into the proper receptacle. And then they came back the next morning. They came back, did the work, and it was a jackhammer. So it was jackhammering all morning. And now I was supposed to leave on Thursday, but I didn't want to leave while they were still doing the work. So they didn't get done till about noon. And so I got on the road pretty late, but it was done. And then the electrician was to come on Friday, but Rachel handled that. Rachel had a friend staying here with her, so she wasn't alone. It's like, you guys, you got to just handle the electrician coming so we can get this done. And so then it takes 3 days to fill the pool back up, but it's finally, we have a full pool. And that text right now was the pool company saying they could now come out and add the chemicals and get this thing started back up. So cross fingers, now it's done. The issue is it'll be like a $2,000 water bill that I then have to fight with them a little bit to get them to credit me. They just credit me for it. You know, like they don't pay it. I still have to pay it. It's painful. But they do credit me, so it comes off of the rent. But what an ordeal that has been, you know, in the middle of summer when we should have just been able to get into our pool every single day. Yeah. Whew. Before I became a full-time creative writer, I owned a property management company for 20 years. So grateful I don't do that anymore. Over 100 properties. Wow. On call 24/7. So this company that I use, everything is AI. Everything is AI. And that's the frustrating part is, you know, they think it's all efficient and everything, but it's not. Like if there's an emergency, there is nobody to get a hold of. The AI routes it to whoever, you know, whatever, whether most things go to a general contractor, which is really weird. Most things go to the general contractor, and then general contractor hires whatever company to fix the thing. It's quite frustrating, honestly. But I feel like once we get through this, we've fixed the lights, we fixed the pool now, we fixed some plumbing issues, we fixed some irrigation issues, and that, knock on wood, should be it for some time. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to, I just want to live here and enjoy my house and pay my rent. That's all I want to do. Happy poop. I love it. So this is funny because StreamYard doesn't show me the actual thing. You know what? I'm going to have to go over and see what that looks like. Hold on. I have to see what these gifts look like because they're awesome. I can do this. I just have to mute it. Mute. There we go. All right. Now I can see the chatty chat and all the fun stuff. Excellent. I see the happy poop now. Oh, thank you so much, little white quail. Yeah, it's been interesting. Thank goodness I live in Vegas and we still have plenty of pool season now left. So my biggest thing it was like the danger issue, because when the pool is empty, if one of the dogs had fallen in or if I'd fallen in, we're gonna get hurt. So I so I kind of stressed that with them, that this is a little bit of a liability issue here. But I'm just happy it's done. Happy it's done. And then in all of this, so Priscilla, who is my youngest tortoise, just became of age, shall we say, reached puberty. And Priscilla is now Percy, because Priscilla is a boy. And Priscilla very much wants to get over to his neighbor, who is a girl. And so we had to do some emergency restructuring of the wall in between the two so that he couldn't climb. And we were doing that out in the 110 degree temperatures, but had to be done. Had to be done last week. I'm just so thankful for this life that I have, where I'm not at work, 9 to 5 every day, and wouldn't be able to take care of these things that have to be taken care of. I don't know how those of you, how do you do it? How do you do it when these companies don't work on the weekends? Do you just have to take time off work? Yeah, I can't even imagine how difficult that must be. I mean, I have had 9 to 5 jobs, but it was before I have 4 children, but at the time I had one child. I had my one child, and I did have jobs, but I had my grandma was my babysitter. So she was with family. And I only had like a little apartment. And then, yeah, I don't remember a time where I didn't have some sort of like help with things. And I'm just saying that from a place of like trying to understand, like how, and empathizing, like how do people handle this stuff? It's got to be tough. Got to be tough. What you're happy about is that you're alive because you're, oh, thank you. But yeah, it's so easy to go down that path of all the things that are wrong in our lives, in the world, in our city, on the roads. Like that is such an easy path to follow now, right? We can find people to commiserate with. We can find people to trauma bond with. But really what I want to do is find all the things to be grateful for and happy about. Yeah, grandparents to help. Yeah, yeah. Um, Yeah, I'm not really an orange person. This does have pink. It's pink and white and orange, so it's not solid orange. But I like the bright colors. I'm going tonight I'm so excited I get to do this. So I have to unwind and like, I know not everybody like knows all of the background like detail of things. So I have been involved with the Jim Cockrum community for years and years and years. Jim Cockrum is the founder of the Proven Amazon course, and he teaches people how to sell on Amazon and do that side of e-commerce. And I have gone to his conferences for many, many years. And then last year I was supposed to go, and then I don't even remember what happened last year, why I couldn't go, but I didn't go. And so this year they're in Las Vegas, and he let me take my ticket from last year and bump it to this year. So that conference is in town and coinciding with our big trade show here, which is ASD. And so all of that to say, there's a lot of people in town that I love hanging out with. And Jim always does a worship service on the night before the conference starts. So I have the what I feel is the great privilege of being able to serve by helping to provide some musical equipment that I happen to have laying around. And so I'm the roadie. I will be bringing over some equipment for them to use, and they've also invited me to come and sing with them tonight. So super excited about that. Yeah, it's a great community. Even though I don't sell on Amazon and I'm not kind of in that side of e-commerce, I love the people. Like he has brought so many amazing people together, community, and they're all so supportive and they're always very interested in the side of e-commerce that I do as well. Cape Town, South Africa. Yeah, I decided to go a little bit earlier today because I know I have so many international viewers. So excited to see so many of you from around the world. And so, as I was going to say, the reason also is that because I just got home last night, there was no video prepared for today. Normally, when I do a trip, I've got my videos like all scheduled out, like I've been able to get ahead and they're there and they come out. No, not this time, not this time. And I didn't want to leave everybody hanging for another, 2 days waiting for a video. But yeah, it was a great trip. So it's a long drive. It is a long drive. But I had Noah with me this time. And it ended up being really cool for Noah because he has some online friends in Southern California and he was already planning a trip. But it turned out one of his friends was going to be only 10 minutes away from where we were staying. And so he asked me, he was like, "Can I go play hockey with them on Friday?" And I'm like, "Heck yeah, go." So in fact, I can share this. This is so fun. I am going to show you. Let's see. Let me find it. Let me find it. One second. Where is it? We have a lot of conversation. Here we go. So Noah got to play goalie. Okay, it'll focus and there we go. So there's Noah playing goalie. But boy, was he sore. And so then Saturday was the party. Noah helped me put up decorations and we prepped all the food. Oh my gosh, she must have thought that she had like 100 people coming because there was so much food. It was good food. But so there was a lot to prep and then afterwards put away. But he got tons of fun presents and we got to watch Cars together, which now he's totally into cars. Not just like the movie Cars, but cars in general. The boy loves cars, which is super fun. Do I still? Yes, in fact, I'm glad you said something, Joanna. So yeah, I still do Whatnot. And yes, I still have my marketplace. I still have the Niche Shopping Network. We're in a little bit of a restructuring kind of a thing with NSN and my sellers. We are really trying to figure some things out because the whole point of me not selling there was so that my sellers there could be the highlight, that my sellers there were not in competition with me and all of that. And so we're trying to figure out, so what's the balance? Because obviously I have to market it and people come over because I talk about it and all of that. So just trying to figure out what that looks like and trying to get more of my sellers to do their own live sales. Like that's the big thing. So I am looking for more people who want to go live and do live sales. Like if you are a Whatnot seller, this is like a no-brainer for you. Because the other thing about going live on NSN is that you can also multicast to the Niche Shopping Network YouTube channel, which has over 5,000 subscribers already. So you got like a built-in YouTube community there you can multicast over to, and then you've got a lower fee structure and all of that. So if anybody wants to do some reselling and knows how to do the go live thing, or wants to learn how to do the go live thing, because I do teach that too. What time? It's going to be Christian music. Yeah, they sent me a playlist. I have to like brush up. We have rehearsal. We have rehearsal tonight at 5 o'clock. Oh, thank you, Lee. That is very sweet of you to say. So I am doing a Whatnot sale this coming Friday. It's already over there and scheduled. You can go bookmark it. For anybody who hasn't signed up for Whatnot, if you still want to sign up, oh, you know what? I always forget to put my link. Let me go grab it. Because if I put it in the chat, then it goes out to both places that I'm streaming. If anybody wants to be a seller on Whatnot, it's a separate link. So if you're interested in being a seller, just email me. I will send you that link. And what that link does is it helps you get approval a little bit faster. Okay, there we go. There we go. It is in. So that will get you $15 of free credit to go spend over on Whatnot. Doesn't have to be with me. It can be with anybody. It's just $15. And that I don't, some people say it expires in 30 days. I'm told by my rep that it never expires. I don't know. Okay. And I have to tell you, it's really funny. I'm a Whatnot shopper, especially people who do live thrifting. And, what night was it? Saturday night. It was Saturday night. Everybody was kind of like vegging out after the party. And I was sitting there on Whatnot with a seller that I found who was in a thrift store, and I found some really cute things. So I did a little shopping that way. I did get 2 videos worth of shopping done. I went to like five stores. Yes. Yeah. And those will be split up into 2 different videos. I did go to Goodwill. I'm not going to give it away, but we're going to have a little Goodwill discussion in those videos. And Buttergen, if you love Whatnot, Niche Shopping Network, it runs the same way. So if I can get my sellers to schedule their shows over there, it's auction format. It works exactly like Whatnot does. Okay, what else was I going to talk about? Oh, I know. Transition. Like that smooth transition. So over the course of about, I don't know, when did Jordan's podcast start? I don't even know. It's been over a year. Or has it been a year? I don't know. Melissa, are you here? I haven't seen Melissa say anything. So over the course of the time that I have been working, because before we ever filmed the first podcast episode, I was working with a therapist because I was struggling with some things, and I'm going to be totally vulnerable and say that. And it's okay. You know what? There's a lot of people struggling sometimes with mental health kind of stuff sometimes. But through the course of that, oh, there you are. Through the course of that, oh no, it's been going longer than this. No, we started last year. But between the therapy and between my daughter saying, get assessed for this, and this was being on the spectrum, it still feels really weird to say that. But what I am finding, the more that I talk with women my age, is the relatability and the symptoms. And you think about it, let's just think about this. So for decades, we've seen the numbers go up with autism diagnosis in children. And you think about it, what happens to those children? They grow up. They grow up into adults, uh, diagnosed with ADHD as children, mostly boys. They grow up. They're now the adults that we are sharing this life with. And we know the numbers are pretty out there. Like, what was it? So it used to be like 1 in 40 children were diagnosed on the spectrum, and then it grew to 1 in 80. I don't even know. Can somebody Google and tell me what it is now? How many children? Let's stick with children right now. How many children are diagnosed with being on the autism spectrum currently? Because now what's happened is we're looking at both genders. Who's in my age range or older remembers that we never looked at girls being ADHD. We never looked at girls being on the spectrum. It was a boy thing, right? The reason is girls present differently. Girls present much differently, and the girls were much better at just figuring out how to fit in, or trying to fit in, or going into survival mode. That's why we become the people pleasers. That's why we become the what's the word? Masking. Masking isn't like a negative thing. It isn't being fake. It is surviving a turmoil that's going on internally as you deal with what you think everybody else is able to deal with like a normal person. Oh, we premiered it. Oh yeah, we started shooting it. Yeah, we shot most of the content last year, so I guess that's why it feels like last year. So it was just this year. Okay. I mean, and if you want to like know some in-depth, stuff about my life, you can go watch my daughter's podcast. Because we've been very, very open. And the reason we're so open is because we know we're not alone. We know there's so many people that are still struggling internally with things where it's very, very possible those struggles could mean that you are on the spectrum. And ADHD, by the way, is included in that now. ADHD is a neurodivergence that is part of the whole spectrum. Yeah, it's 1 in 27. 1 in 27. Thank you. What is it? Whatever 1V is. What does that mean? 1 in 27 children diagnosed now. And it'll be interesting to see. Yes, there's a huge genetic component. So that makes sense. But I also think there's an environmental component that comes in that is increasing. And look at the microplastics in our food. We don't know how all that stuff is building up. And like, there's going to be studies, 10, 20 years from now, looking at our generation, like, oh yeah, they had all this stuff. But anyway, so there's a lot of people walking around struggling through life, not yet understanding that there's a reason for it, and that if you feel like you don't fit in, and if you feel like you're like nobody understands, and if you feel like you're in this internal struggle and you can't get things done, but yet you want to get things done, all of that, you may be on the spectrum. And so all of that to say, this last year has been a crazy journey for me to come to terms with a lot of stuff from the past, a lot of it having to do with my parenting and why things were what they were and how I did things, because I know my heart. it helped me understand some of the misunderstandings that have happened over the years, with people I thought were friends. Um, because I know my motives and I know my heart and I know how hard I have tried to help others and make people happy and all that stuff. But um, I was also attracting some things in my life that were setting all that up for failure, so to speak. So it's been a journey. But now, even in my daily day to day, the tasks that I have to do and how I get things done, I have an understanding now. If I put the keys in a different spot than I normally put them, it is most assuredly that when it is time to walk out the door, I will not have those keys and I will not know where they are, because there's Jordan gave me the name for it. It's the out of sight, out of mind. What is it? Object permanence thing. It's like it's off in our brains, those of us who suffer from these things. And so when we don't see it, it's not retained. On the other hand, my visual memory, my what do you call it? What's the term? What's the term for, like, you remember things that you see? Why, I see now I can't even think of it. See, the not remembering the words thing, that's part of it too. Let's see if somebody can help me through that one. It's some kind of a memory. Why can't I think of the word? Why can't I think of the word? I'm waiting for the lag. Somebody help me. I'm stumbling here. Deborah, amazing podcast. It helped my daughter and I get to communicating, and I can never, oh my gosh, that makes me so happy. No, it's, God, photographic memory. Photographic memory. That's the term. I've always had that. I can always visually see something like where I left it. And that's why my inventory structure has worked for me so well, because if I put it there, I remember where it is. If somebody else puts it there and moves it, I'm sunk. I cannot find it. And that has been a real struggle as my business has grown and I've needed help in managing my inventory. So, had to come up with a system. It's working pretty good now. It's working pretty good. I'm putting things kind of chronologically, like when I purchased it. Now, we'll see how this carries through as I have older items, but I have a plan for that too, because I don't want to let there be older items. I am at a point when it gets to 1 year old, it gets assessed as to, do I go put this on a live sale and start it at $2 and let it go? Or is it worthy of remaining in my long tail inventory, which then means, is it worth going on cherish.com? Because that's all my high end stuff. And if it's worth going on cherish.com, then it goes into another room. And I call that my cherish room. So nothing in this room will be older than a year. That's how I'm doing it. But it's a new system. So far, so good. I'm still working it out. I put more shelves in here than I needed, it turned out. So I'm using this that you can't see. I'm like pointing to it, but I've got these cubbies right here. I'm going to call those my whatnot cubbies. So as it gets time to either decide, oh, somebody's in trouble. As it gets time to either clearance it through an online auction or move it to the cherish room, it comes out of this room. So that's the two things that can happen. And I'm working also with someone who, which is the beautiful thing, that not everyone on the spectrum has the same what's the word? Strengths. There we go. Strengths, weaknesses. And so the person who does my cross posting for me using List Perfectly is also so detail oriented, like crazy detail oriented. And she's all about specific systems, processes, beep, 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 and double checks and all of this. And so she's getting some things on the back end that make sure that my inventory never gets out of hand, that it's always like I can run inventory like a store now and go, yep, this is boop, 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 got all that. Because here's the thing. If you are an online seller, well, there's two ways to do your accounting. But for me, it's if it's still in inventory at the end of the year, that's an asset of the business that I pay taxes on. So the goal is to not have too much stuff left over that you bought, previously. And for years, I've been paying for things that I no longer had because I just didn't have a really solid, good double checking inventory system. Have I ever worked for an online auction company for those items that have not sold or perhaps larger items? So here's the cool thing about cherish.com now. Cherish.com and I can't remember who they merged. They merged with an online auction, like a high-end online auction company. And now they will pull things from your Cherish inventory and run them through their auction. So that's very exciting. So I'm trying to build up my Cherish inventory more. I never advertise all those other places that I sell because everything is listed in the nicheladyshop.com for less than you can get it on any of those sites. So there is no reason for you to go look for my stuff anywhere than the Niche Lady Shop, because I always give my viewers a better price than you can find it in my other places. But I sell, and it also so that, there's not that unfair advantage of, I don't want to say unfair advantage. It's not an unfair advantage because anybody can do it. Anybody can build up a marketing system through a YouTube channel and social media and all that stuff. Why is that so loud? But I do have a bit of an advantage of having an established YouTube channel and having people actively going over and looking for the things that I buy to sell. So I didn't want that with my eBay, Poshmark, Etsy, Cherish, because I want that to be organic so that I can keep my thumb on the pulse of what e-commerce is doing, that I'm coming at it from the same point as other resellers, which makes me a more effective teacher and not just basing it off of like what I have been able to experience. So I don't push any of those out on social media. I can tell you eBay has not been doing so good. I can tell you that Etsy's been doing pretty good. And I do the same listing on those sites at the same time, at the same price, except for Cherish. Cherish gets bumped up a little bit. So it's just very interesting to watch all of that transpire in the data. And then I have a spreadsheet that tells me, lays out how much I'm doing on each site during the month. And I can then make decisions of which ones am I going to end up staying on. There's some I might let go of at the end of the year. Carol says, I listed something in Cherish the other day of a piece I won at an auction, and I found it difficult to list on there. Guess it takes. What specifically did you find difficult? Because I find it pretty easy to list on there. As far as the interface, is easy to use, but they do want you to know like when your item was made, the era. They want you to know what it's made of. They want you to know like, what are the specific things? I can't even think right now. But they want you to know some stuff about the stuff you're selling for sure. Cherish is very curated. And I would say make sure you have like 30 things ready to list today. Like, don't make them active. Leave them in draft form until you have about 30 of them up, because you need at least 20 items listed in order to get the reduced commission over on Cherish. Otherwise, you're going to pay 30%, 40%, 40%. And then if you have 20 items or more, you're going to pay 30%. And I know that sounds high, but that is why you can put your more valuable things over there, because they do have the customer. Yeah. You'll get used to it. If it takes long the first time, just know that it's something new. And that just like anything, once you start doing it and using it and, exercising that muscle, it's going to get easier. You're going to whiz through it in no time. Yep. Yep. Okay. What else was I going to share? That's pretty much it. What do you want to know? We can open it up. Q&A. Going back to, what I was talking about, I did have a chart that I wanted to share in case anybody is wondering. I got this off of the medical news today. It's a pretty clear chart showing you there's the ADHD, there's the autism, and then there's the ADHD, which is what I've been diagnosed with, where you've got both kind of coming together and clobbering one another. So I'll leave that up there for a moment, just if you want to screenshot it, and then kind of think about like some of the things you go through on a day-to-day basis, like the getting started doing something. Like, who struggles with getting started? Like, there's this task, you've got to do it, but it's like you're stuck to the chair. Or in my case, I am stuck in bed in the morning. Like, it's so hard for me to peel myself out of bed and get the day started. But once I get the day started, I'm like rip roaring ready to go. I can like hyper focus and I can get something done. Sometimes I have to peel myself away from that thing that I'm doing because I am so hyper focused on it, kind of thing. This is what we do. But yeah, I'm waiting for the lag to catch up. Do I have one brave person that will tell me it's hard. It's hard at our age also to go, oh, I have that. Why? Why is that so hard? Why do we feel shame or maybe guilt or maybe that like imposter syndrome of like, oh, like maybe I'm just overthinking this. Maybe I don't really have these symptoms and I'm just like making it up. Right? We do that too. What are some other things that we struggle with? We struggle with the fear that somebody's going to make fun of us, and here's what I say about that. What's a polite way to say this? Oh, no, we won't even say it polite. Screw them. You know what? If somebody's going to make fun of something you're going through in life, you don't need them in your life. And I know that's hard. But it's the truth. And if you slowly start finding the circle of supportive people in your life, finding the circle of people that you want to spend time around, who actually accept you just the way you are, and that sometimes means you got to let down the mask and show them who you are. And that's what's been hardest for me is I am who I am on video. I'm not faking it for the camera. I'm not faking it when I'm in groups of people. That is who I am. But it is the who I am being very self-protective of fitting in. Does that make sense? Like I do mask, and the hardest thing is learning to unmask and just be open to criticism and not being accepted and not making somebody happy and all those things. Like that's the difference between mask and unmask is If you've also got some trauma thrown in there in your life, you're going to be even more self-protective, even more like have that internal struggle and feel exhausted at the end of the day if you spend any amount of time around people, because we are constantly processing and looking for the signs of, oh, am I being accepted? Am I fitting in? I'm gonna come back to me. Everybody done kind of looking at this? Hopefully you got it screen. You can always go back and screenshot it. Um, but it's that survival mechanism of making sure you're in a safe space around people that is just internally going on and the machine is moving, but you have this kind of masking so that nobody sees you sweat, kind of thing. Remember like the commercial, like don't let them see you sweat. That kind of thing. Have to learn to tap dance with everyone. Yeah, it kind of feels like that. Um, through a therapist, and actually just being open to it and asking for it. I said, "Can you assess me for?" But first, it was just ADHD. I thought it was just ADHD. That was, and then she's the one who led me to the odd HD, and especially since I have children who are on the spectrum who have been diagnosed, and it is genetic. Imagine that. So that really led to the whole thing. To rethink that there is something that caused me to do what I did is amazing. Anxiety is not. Oh, okay, ladies. This is what they give us as a diagnosis. This is very common. You have anxiety disorder. You're anxious. Like, let's give you something to calm you. And I'm not saying anxiety is not a real thing, but a lot of times that anxiety is actually something else revealing itself. And once you understand that, you can start understanding your anxiety and what's causing it. And I'm still anxious. I'm a very anxious person. Like, ask my kids. Like right now, I'm thinking about, like, is Rachel okay? Is she scared? Is she like, is somebody walking around behind her at campus? Like all the thing, like, but getting the knowledge that that is not how the neurotypical brain works, and that is not, what's the word? I don't want to discount what you're feeling, because I know anxiety is real and it's scary and you're experiencing it. It will also make you really sick if you don't let your body replenish the cortisol that it goes through when you're anxious. So it's just a lot of understanding that and telling it that, you know what, that has not happened. And it probably will not happen. Could it happen? Yeah. So you can't tell somebody that it can never happen. You can't tell me that it can never happen. But if I start thinking like, what the likelihood of it happening, like what I'm wasting some positive time in the day stressing about something that's probably not going to happen. And that's just being aware of those moments and trying to get you, like Jordan calls it, being regulated. So learning what works for you to get you back to a regulated state of mind kind of thing. Awesome. I hope I see you on Friday night over at the Whatnot. That'll be fun. It can be debilitating. 100%. Been there. My very first diagnosis was when my oldest was 3 years old. And I remember it so clearly. I have a very good visual memory. And I went to the doctor because I was just so tired, And he gave me Valium. You just need rest. And he gave me Valium. And I remember losing 3 days of my life where I was a single mom to a 3-year-old. And that scared me so bad. That started my journey into my mental health uh, adventures, if you will. I went into an inpatient program at that point in my life, and then they put me on antidepressants. And back then they didn't think spectrum. That's not where they went. They went to depression and anxiety and treated it with something that's going to probably make you more tired and depressed. So I battled that battle for many years. And then it was like, oh, you have CPTSD and OCD. With OCD is an anxiety disorder, by the way. I've talked about it on my channel before that I was agoraphobic, where that means you don't leave the house. You have a phobia about going out anywhere. And I just had to learn progressively to go further and further. And at first it was only if I had somebody with me, only if I felt protected. Mine was all about being protected. And then eventually, I mean, and God in life kind of, shot me in that direction. It's like, Danny, you've got to figure out how to do this on your own. So I did overcome that. I still have major, major anxiety about going places I don't know. Like right now, I have to go navigate that convention center and figure out how to get an amplifier and microphone stands. In my brain is already trying to spiral that into something very, very terrifying. And I am battling with that today. But I have an understanding that, okay, Danny, this is just that thing, that process in your head that's a little defunct. It's a bug, if you will. And you've got to like override it. Just override it and do it. And the more you override things, the better it gets, the easier it gets to override those. They don't go away, but you start learning that that's that thing over here that I just need to, do something with. And that's how I deal with it. Bree, I just got back from San Diego. San Diego to go celebrate my baby boy's first birthday. It was so fun. Things could happen or not. I use the 80-20 principle to help me think I would worry about what might happen. Yeah. And being a Christian, my biggest thing I've been able to, and I do this with my hand, actually, like when I'm on an airplane and those first moments of takeoff, and it's like, I can only hold one thing in my hand. It's either faith or fear. So I'm either going to hold on to the fear or I'm going to choose faith. And I just sit there, faith, not fear, faith, not fear, faith, not fear. Nothing I can do about it. If that plane's going down, what is worrying about it going to do? It's not going to change anything. I don't know how to fly the plane. So why not take in the window seat, look at the beauty that it is, you can see when you get up in the air, and just choose faith over fear. And that's a lot of how I deal with it. Yeah, 80% of the things you worry about never happen. Yeah. Yeah. And then it robs you. It robs you of the space to look at something that can bring you so much joy. Because we miss things. We miss things in those moments. We do. I'm telling you. Because we get focused on something that takes away from enjoying something else. And I can't give you another perfect example. Because this is a struggle of mine. I'm not saying I got it all figured out. So I am actively sharing my personal struggle with this. So baby boy is walking now. New fear unleashed, right? And so Jordan lets him walk down the stairs with her. And I'm just like, oh, instead of being able to like look at that and go, how cool is that? Look at it. He's managing it. He's getting down those steps. I'm sitting there with my heart in my throat, waiting for the fall, And that was just a perfect example. I didn't overcome that one. I was like, oh. He was safe. He had his mommy's hand and mommy had his hand, and mommy's not going to let anything happen to him. But yet there's just that overpowering, oof, that sometimes it just don't like it. He is such a little man now. He really is. Really, really is. Yes, I know. That little, like, I'm like wanting to put some, pool noodle on the corner of her end table, and she's going, he'll be fine. He's probably going to hit it. I'm just like, no, but he doesn't have to. So different. So different, the parenting. I would have put, well, see, Noah was really difficult. His autism was much further on the spectrum than my other children, especially when he was little. And I just wanted to put him in a padded room. I just wanted to keep him. He did things that, so he also has like sensory integration disorder, which he's like one of those kids that he doesn't really feel when he's in pain until it's really bad. And he would do things that were just, and didn't react. But then okay, he nosedived off the couch head first, didn't even try to put his arms out. And he had a seizure because of it. Like, it was so scary. And then like he had an ear infection and didn't even let us know his ear was hurting until he perforated his eardrum. Most recently, you guys might remember, he ruptured his appendix. I didn't know he was having any kind of issue with his appendix until it had ruptured, and we were in the urgent care, and the doctor is like calling an ambulance. He's like, you're not driving him. He's going in an ambulance. His appendix is ruptured. I'm like, but he just like, he doesn't sense those same things. So needless to say, I had a lot of anxiety raising Noah. But now I know, like, when Noah comes to me with something that's bothering him, I know to take it very seriously because it's probably 10 times worse than how he's feeling it. So, okay, 3:00. Got to watch the clock because I got to go play Uber for Rachel. But and I'm really super anxious to hear how her first day went. I will let you know there are road trip videos coming this week. And I went to some great little shops. I went to a couple of Goodwills. There will be a very interesting comparison from San Diego to what I'm experiencing here in Southern Nevada. And I only went to the Goodwill San Diego's because it was pretty much the only thing open when I went. So it was not like I just don't want to give my money to Goodwill anymore. I just don't want to do it. I used to be a big, big supporter of theirs. As you know, I used to really advocate for Goodwill until I really got a deep dive look into the behind the scenes and how things are managed and what has personally happened to me with a relationship with Goodwill here. Am I able to go film and thrift at Goodwill here in Southern Nevada? I am. But it has conditions placed on it, which I am not willing to comply with. Let's see. Oh, Kathy, you're so welcome. I love hanging out with you guys. It's like, throw me some questions. Throw me anything. Throw me anything. Jimmy, like, I'm an open book. I overshare. It's one of my faults. I say too much all the time. And then people love to make content and make it into something it's not. I will tell you, since I have now finally settled in and gotten moved and got my inventory, like, we've got a really good system going now. I've had more time to do the things that I love to do. I've always had a heart for small nonprofits, and I'm now able to go and do volunteer things. I'm working with, so if you're here in Vegas and you like every once in a while, doesn't have to be all the time, doesn't have to be like me and look for something every week, but if you love to participate in something and help out an organization and have no idea where to start, visit volunteersofvegas.org, because they work with many, many, many different nonprofit organizations, even things like helping some elderly and disabled people with things that they need to do, helping somebody have an estate sale. um, but then you can sign up to be a volunteer. And the thing that Volunteers of Vegas does, their mission is to be the support for the volunteer, to help make it a good experience, an easy experience, and something you want to come back and do it again. That is like the whole basis around it, is to take care of the volunteers doing all the things. Yes, it is for the organizations, but they're also very picky about the organizations. They don't just let anybody use their volunteers. Like, you have to take care of the volunteers. So I've gotten to work over at the Cat Cafe. Yeah, and yeah, it wasn't glamorous. We were cleaning. We were, cleaning litter boxes and mopping the floors and cleaning the windows, but it was cool. It was fun. I just got done over at the Tortoise Group, tortoisegroup.org. I think they are the only official 501c3 nonprofit tortoise rescue here in Las Vegas. And they only do desert tortoises. There is no rescue for the sulcatas, which is, I wish I had some land and I could make that happen. But got to go hang out there and help. We reinforced burrows is what we did that day. I've made some like short reel and like TikTok videos and that stuff about that. And then I'm signed up for like some park cleanup stuff, and we put care packages together for the unhoused, and just a ton of stuff. Like it's really cool. It's so fun to be part of. How are the turtles doing? They're fantastic. So I was thinking about this. Let me know your thoughts. So I still have the Niche Lady Critter Cam channel. I haven't really been doing anything with it, but I was thinking about just making a video of like all the Niche Lady pets, and just kind of showing them all again. But I'll have to send you guys over there. It's not really something I'm doing here. I am including animals like at the ends of my videos now again, and all of that. But yeah, I get like so many, like it feels like if you don't see the animal, it must have died, right? Like, okay. No, I very much have all my animals. I condensed fish tanks from 8 down to 2. So just kind of fine-tuned things a little bit. I just showed, Cheeto the axolotl, and you can hear there's Bougie. He's such a happy boy here now. Happy, happy boy. But yeah, the thing about the tortoises, it's hard to catch them on camera. They are only out like twice a day right now. Morning and evening. That's it. So my schedule has to coincide so I can be out there at the same time. But it's doable. It is doable. Eileen's she's like a night owl. She comes out and she's out at night. She eats like all night, which is really weird. I've never heard of a tortoise doing that. But then, has it been studied? Has it been documented? Maybe they all do that. Maybe we just never knew. I love Bougie too. He's my boy. But yeah, he is not. So he's still territorial when he's in his cage. He will still try to bite when he's in his cage. When he's out of his cage, he's much better. Like, he is much more chill. I'll actually let him back on my shoulder again, where I had to stop that because he was coming over and biting me in the cheek just for no reason. So yeah, I think he is much more settled because I'm here more. Before, it was like I was going to a 9-to-5 job. I had a separate house that I worked out of. And so now, even like right now, he can't see me, but he can hear me. He knows I'm here. And animals, they talk to each other more in sound than in visual. So he is just a much more relaxed kind of dude. And Ozzy's still Ozzy, and Cora's still Cora. And poor Cora, I think she's losing her hearing and her sight. She's old. She's 12 now. But she doesn't respond quite the way she used to. She's okay. Well, she's okay. Well, we love her. Good. All right. Any last questions before we go? So there will be a new video on Wednesday, and there will be a video on Friday, and there will be a whatnot sale on Friday afternoon, evening. So I always put, of course, I never do it. I don't know why I don't do it in this one. I will do it. I will do it. Like if you're watching on the replay, it'll be there. I will put the link for the whatnot, $15 if you haven't claimed that yet. And if you claimed it a long time ago, go ahead and try using it. If it doesn't work, reach out to me. Let me know. I will make sure you get your $15 credit. I will fight for you because I have it in writing that it never expires. So there we go. Because I know lots and lots of people have signed up and they have the credit pending, but they've never used it. So go find something. Go find something somewhere. Use your $15. Have some fun with it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I absolutely adore you guys. I feel like this has been a big turnaround year for me. A lot of really good things have happened. Sure, they've been hard making them happen, but did I tell you the pod is gone? The pod is gone. No storage units anymore. I have an inventory system, and I have a daughter trying to call me. And there's so many good things happening, and that's where I'm putting my focus. So if I seem happier in my videos, it's because I am. It's because I am. I have dealt with a lot of big, heavy stress things that have been going on, resolved a lot of things, and we're turning it around and things are good. So I hope things are good in your life as well. And I will see you on the next one. Now go be profitable and make it fun. Emphasis on the fun, always. Thanks, guys. Bye.